Hello friends, welcome to the debug desk. You navigated to the tech world. Today we're going to start a session on introduction to Scratch programming language. So today, in a very few minutes, you will create your very first computer program, even if you have never written a single line of code or have no prior computer programming experience. And the best part is we'll be using Scratch programming language. It is a very cool, fun, and very simple programming language which doesn't require writing a single line of code. It makes programming as easy as snapping a few pieces of puzzles together. Scratch builds various basic programming skills. It will help you think like a programmer. It give you a very strong foundation for learning real coding languages in future such as Python and Java. So let's begin with what is Scratch. Scratch is a free block-based programming language which is developed by MIT and Scratch Foundation. So here, instead of typing various lines of codes, you just drag and drop various blocks which are already provided you. You fit together just like Lego pieces and you build a complete computer program. We'll see step by step how it is possible. So first of all, let's understand what actually is meant by coding. So coding is like writing various instructions or various commands for computer and other hardware. Computer reads these instructions, which is also called programs, and does whatever the task that you have asked the computer to do. And how does this coding work? So basically, computers understand the language of ones and zero, which is also called the binary language. We as humans don't understand this language. So what we do is that we write various computer-related instructions in terms of various programs, and it is ultimately converted into the languages of ones and zero, which is understandable by the computer. And thus, by this translation, we instruct computer to perform various tasks on our behalf. So let's first of all try to understand various basic terminology before we dive into coding. So related to Scratch, we need to understand what is a command. So when you write a single instruction like this, move 10 steps, it is a single instruction for computer. You ask it to do some very specific thing, which is called command. When you group a bunch of commands in a predefined sequence to attain a particular task, it is called a program. As you can see, here various types of commands are given in sequence, and the computer will perform each and every task based on various predefined meanings of each of the block. Another thing is that we need to understand what is data. So all the kinds of letters and numbers and symbols which do not have any basic context and which are stored together, it is called data. But when you put data into some kind of context and when the data provides you some meaning, it is called information. We'll see all these concepts in detail in future sessions. So today it's just beginning and uh, understanding these basic terms. Another thing to remember is the sequence of various commands is very important in Scratch programming language. You need to arrange various blocks into exact sequence in which you need to be executed. So we need to take care into that. And with this amount of basic information right now we have, let's dive into directly the interface of Scratch and see what is the programming in Scratch looks like. So friends, when you go to scratch.mit.edu website, this is the homepage that you get. From this page, you can find various resources for this application and this programming language. You can find various ideas and various other tools also. So to start programming here, all you need to do is just click here, start creating, and you'll be taken to a screen like this and click on that. So this is the programming editor of Scratch language. You can see there are various sections here. So this one on the left is what you can call is the block panels. There are various categories of blocks available here. You will be using all these blocks to create various programs. This is a particular in the middle area. It is called the program area. You will be arranging various blocks. You'll be dragging those blocks here like this and arranging them in order to create a complete instruction for your program. This one here is the stage area. You can see there is an animation character here. It is called sprite. You can add various kind of such characters and interact with them. Basically, what happens in Scratch is that all the instructions that you write here, it is based on this sprites. The sprites will perform various tasks on behalf of the instructions here. Here it is a staging area. You can change various backgrounds and create various kinds of backdrops here like this. If I change it like this, so you can see that your cat is now walking by the beach. So it's called staging area. This is the basic of programming editor. If you want to go dive into deep here, let's discuss various blocks that are given here. So there are various categories of block. First one is called the motion blocks. With motion blocks, what you can do is you can move the sprites. Uh, Here, various examples are given. You can move uh, the sprite by 10 steps. You can turn them, rotate them, you can put them to a random position on the screen. So these are related to the motion of the sprites. Second category of blocks is called looks. It is related to how you can display your sprite. You can change its color, you can change its size, you can make it say a few things graphically. The third block is called sound block. You can ask your sprite to make some sound. For example, here is given if I put this block, it will sound meow, or you can various record also various sounds. Then after events, basically what we have to do is that uh, all these kind of activities which we want our computer to do, it has to be related to some event when this particular task is to be executed. For that, we have various events here. You can see when you click this button, then something can happen. You can use your keyboard. When some key here is pressed, you can tie some event and programming related to that. So all these kinds of blocks are given in event. Control is basically related to various looping and decision making techniques. You want to wait for some time, you want to repeat a particular task for 10 times. So this is the kind of blocks that you will be using. Then after sensing, sensing is basically interacting with the user, how this particular character interact with the user that is going to use this particular game or program. Related to that, all the blocks are given here. Then after operators, so various mathematical and logical calculations have to be performed at various stages of programming. Related to that, blocks are given here. You can see these are the mathematical blocks for addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. You can compare various values. You can perform logical operations. You can join various strings and numbers, various data. So all those blocks are given in operations. Then after variables, variables are basically placeholders or empty spaces where you can temporarily store some kind of data. These are called variables, and you can create some variables here, and you can change their values, their names, all those functions related to variables are given here. Then after blocks, so uh, you can what happens is that many times you require a particular task to be repeated, and that's why you can pre-build some of the blocks which you repeatedly use. This kind of blocks can be saved here. We'll see all these features in detail once we go into next sessions. So right now, let's create a very basic and simple game or program. So what I need to do is I want my cat to move 10 steps whenever I click it, right? So my task is, again, I'm repeating, whenever I click this particular cat, it should move right side by some steps. So, what should I first of all do is that first of all, I need to check whenever I'm clicking this. So that is related to event. So event, you can find out when the sprite is clicked. So now you can see this is a Lego block kind of thing, or you can simply drag and drop it here. Now what next step is when I click here, it should move. So it is related to motion. Find a block here. Okay, move 10 steps here. You have dragged now both the blocks. Now next step is to connect them. Connect them just like Lego blocks. These are connected. Now this program is live and running. Whenever I click this cat, it should move to some steps on the right side. As you can see here, you can even make it bigger. Whenever I click this cat, it will move some right side. See? So this is as simple as it gets to create a simple game or program. You can just drag and drop various blocks here and arrange them in some sequence that you want your task to be completed. So this was the first session. In future, we'll be writing various complex games and programs using Scratch language. This is just introduction. So stay tuned for the next sessions. We will be taking and implementing various kind of programs. See you in the next sessions.